Truth, lies, shenanigans.
RB, you want to talk about the Catholic Church and these children? Talk to us.
Absolutely. After all that positive energy, here comes Captain Bring Down. So, breaking news from France on Friday. There was an independent inquiry commissioned by the French Catholic Church in 2018 that has finally been completed. That inquiry revealed that 216,000 children, most of them boys, have been sexually abused by clergy members in the French Catholic Church since 1950. Another 114,000 were abused by lay church workers, such as teachers at Catholic schools. So now this is only for the last 71 years in one country. Investigators sifted through civil and church records for at least 2.5 years and conducted interviews with victims and witnesses in order to compile their information. The 2,500-page long report identifies the vast majority of victims were boys, most of whom were 10 to 13 years old. The inquiry also revealed that there were approximately 3,000 abusers involved during that time. So now, according to a Vatican statement, Pope Francis only learned about the report after he met with visiting French bishops earlier in the week. And part of the statement is that his first thoughts are for the victims, with a deep sadness for their wounds and a gratitude for their courage in coming forward. His thoughts also turn to the church in France, and that in recognizing these terrible events and united by the suffering of the Lord for his most vulnerable children, it can take the path of redemption. So, really, how can the Catholic Church redeem itself from this? And what should be done about the Catholic Church, the Vatican, Vatican City?
Let's start with
Neo,
Okay, you want to start
we
with me?
never start with you. We never start with you.
Yeah, usually
Yeah, we don't.
I'm trying to
You
figure out the
shortchange yourself
transition.
as the host.
Usually I'm
Aw.
trying to work on transitions. That's why you didn't start with me.
He's like, give me time.
Yeah, give me a second, let me settle for a half a second. All right. All right. Well, no, yeah, I'm actually glad you started with me because, this always resonates with me when we're talking about atrocities towards
Yeah.
children. And it bothers me. We're looking at 200 when you said this to me and I saw the numbers, I was appalled. 216,000 children abused just in my mind I would think that over a century, maybe just in the last few decades, we're talking about 216,000 by more than 3,000 clergymen, clergy people.
Mhm.
I mean, that just shows you this is basically like sex trade. Um, we're basically talking about sex trade. We're talking about children being used to uh, provide services for clergy of the Catholic Church, and that's horrible. Horrible that these children were put through that, um, sexually abused, and and it's never always limited to sexual abuse. We talk about sexual abuse, but abusers tend to abuse in multiple ways. It's never just it's psychological. It could be physical. It could be any number of ways. So you know, this is just tragic. And again, only in France. These numbers are only in one country, a tiny country at that. Just think about the world. We're talking Brazil, the U.S., huge countries. Um, it's appalling to me. Appalling.
Mhm.
So let's go with Liz. Oh no, Gianni's got
Robbie,
her hand
yours?
up.
Oh, go ahead, Johnny.
Oh, okay. Cause Rob asked a specific question. He said, "What should be done to the Catholic Church?" Because I noticed, Rob, that you mentioned the Pope said something like we offer redemption, like they can redeem themselves. Basically, maybe there's some type of something where they could go through to receive. Um, I don't know. How do you clean child molesters? How do you like cleanse that? I don't understand that. But what I would do
Jail?
is first it's criminal. I think that it should be investigated and people should be arrested for it. It's criminal. And over 300 and I read that it said over 330,000 children were abused because these were claims in prosecution against the Catholic Church worldwide, not just in France. So that statistic really, 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 really shocked me, and I'm surprised that there hasn't been any prosecutions yet. I know a lot of these things date back to years, 30 years, decades, like you guys say, but this was systematic. So if it's something that was within the system of this religion, then there should be prosecution today.
It still pisses me off they won't acknowledge it the way. I mean, they're halfway still acknowledging it. It's not really addressing it, is he?
So my indictment here isn't of the Catholic Church; it's of us, the human race. You know, the Catholic Church, knowing all of this isn't a new story. This isn't breaking news. Sure. This isn't something that we found out just yesterday. This has been going on for decades. Actually, like Rob B pointed out, over a century. But yet the Catholic Church has not really lost any popularity. It hasn't lost any funding. It hasn't lost any membership, if you will. If anything, it's become even more popular, and you have more Catholics who are devout and who are making excuses for the church. So this is an indictment on us as a people. Like, the Catholic Church can't exist without its members, without its congregation. So what does this say about us as people who accept these religious doctrines, who accept these priests, who accept the Pope, time and time again, without any judgment, without any consequences?
So you're suggesting lifelong Catholics just leave the Catholic Church altogether, or work on reform?
I'm suggesting that they have a stronger voice and work on reform, and not, I mean, and it's not just the Catholic Church, but because we're talking about that for this argument, but you see it time and time again, because someone is, a priest, a pastor in the Baptist church, someone who has any type of celebrity, someone who has any type of influence over a group of people, they seem to be exempt. They seem to be, not considered for making wrong decisions, or for being criminal, or for being, abusers of children. We accept this over and over and over again in our society as a people. And that allows the Catholic Church for a century and beyond to continue to lie, abuse, and cover up over and over again. So at some point, we have to look at ourselves. And when I say look at ourselves, I don't mean absolve the Catholic Church. We can't keep pointing the finger at the church and we don't do anything.
And you're giving them money.
And we don't step up.
Them, right.
Robbie? Exactly.
Robbie, your thoughts? Exactly. You got about a minute or so.
Yeah. So, Johnny, as you alluded to, most cases assessed by the inquiry are thought to be too old to be prosecuted under French law because we're going back 70 years. The 300,000 figure that you brought up isn't worldwide. That was 210,000 for the Catholics, for clergy, and 110,000 was basically like Catholic school teachers. So people who are aligned with the Catholic Church, and this is all still
in one country.
Still within France for the last 70 years. So if we go global, this is just a drop in the bucket, because this has been going on for more than 70 years. That's the records that they had for them.
Okay, millions of children potentially.
I wonder why just little boys. I know this is random.
Easy.
I'm so glad. Here's the history lesson.
Go ahead, Robbie.
So the ability to marry for Catholic priests was removed during Roman times because the church was tired of seeing its land holdings get divested by dowries, and that was the tradition. They were allowed to get married, but then family tradition provided that the father provide land to his sons and dowries for his daughters. The church didn't want to keep losing their holdings, so they forbade priests from marrying, and then they surrounded them with altar boys. They deprived They deprived leaders of their basic humanity, and then they protect them when they harm their victims. So, like I was alluding to during an earlier conversation, it's like prison. You don't necessarily have sex with the people you want to have sex with. You have sex with those around you. They've removed your ability to have a sexual relationship with a spouse and surrounded you with little boys. And then we're surprised this shit happens? No, not at all. And
real quick,
so I think that the priests need to be excommunicated. They need to be tried criminally,
Don't.
and they need to reverse their stance. They need to let priests get married. Absolutely.
Also,
And that's
the
it.
Catholic Church is rooted in the patriarchal society. Like up until recently, you didn't have female priests. You didn't have
Yeah.
altar girls. Everything was rooted in the male
Men.
and the direction
Yeah.
of the male child, being, shuffled through the system. So that's why initially the abundance of abuse was geared towards boys, because that's what was available to them. In addition to what
Mhm.
Rob was saying, in that the men were not the priest, or the ones who wanted to rise within the church system
Gotta
were
wrap it up.
denied the opportunity to have relations with females, were denied the opportunity to be married. Like
Celibate.
you had to be focused on God
Okay.
and nothing else.
I have
And that's just
one
not
last thing to
realistic.
share.
Okay, I'll give you
Mhm.
20 seconds.
Don't even need them. Vatican City population is 800. The city's net worth stands at $15 billion with a B. So they have enough money. They are self-sustained. If you give them a single penny at this point, moving forward, knowing what they do, you are complicit. You are part of the problem. You want reform? Stop funding them.
And
Yep.
they're rich.
Tell them that you
All
won't
right.
give them a dime
Boom.
until they
Rich.
change.
George
Boom.
Fournier, this is a worldwide problem, not just France. The Catholic Church is responsible for not addressing the problem and simply moving priests to different parishes, hence all of the lawsuits coming about in recent years.
Yep.
It's shameful. Paulette Bertrand says, horrifying behavior. It sickens me. Salai says, so awful. It's rife all over the world across many religions. Just look at the Australian
Yeah.
Commission into the Jehovah Witnesses, where the perpetrators are protected. Jacqueline Robinson says, outrageous. These cases should have been referred to law enforcement and treated like crimes in real time, and stop moving priests and pastors from one diocese to the next. George Fournier also says, unfortunately, there's no way to make the lives of the victims any better. There's no jail sentence or financial reward that can put the victims in the same position that they were in prior to abuse. And Jeanette Brown says, Lizzie, narcissism breeds within organized religion. So,
Absolutely.
is this truth,
Absolutely.
lies, or shenanigans?
Oh, it's all of it. It's all of it.
We sighed at the same time, Rob. We sighed at the same time.
I'll give you, I'll say all of it, but I'm just going with lies. Great. I agree with
It's
you.
all of
It's
it.
all of it. What are you saying,
It's
Gianni?
truth because we found out more truth, and it's lies because they covered it up with disgusting lies.
All right, great topic. Great topic. Thank you, Robbie Rock.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right, it's